I think that one of the central questions in Witness is, where does John Book belong? I'm inclined, like when I watch it, I kind of want to say that he belongs with the Amish, and I think that there is some reason to kind of think that he is a natural fit there. Even when we see him being a policeman, he's very kind of family values oriented. He's quite moral, even if not in every way, but he has a very kind of strong traditional moral compass. When he goes into the Amish community, he is fatherly with Samuel in the way that he lets him see the gun once Samuel's discovered it himself. But he absolutely respects their ways. He gives the gun to Rachel and says, take it away and hide it, without any complaint, without being in any way sarky about it. He understands that those are the rules. He does stand out a little bit because his trousers are too short, but he's basically prepared to talk the talk and walk the walk for the most part. And we see him go from the man who just downs the big thing of lemonade in one hit, as we would do, and shortly after, when they're building the barn, he understands that you take a sip to take the edge off your thirst, and then you give it to the next person. He very much feels as if he belongs in this landscape. But, there's the whacking. He is a man who solves problems with violence. Whereas the Amish, they have been doing this for hundreds of years. People can taunt them as much as they want. This is not a reason to attack people. But John Book just says, well, that's not my way. And he goes and bloodies people up for being disrespectful. And he was upset and his friend had been killed. But, the Amish made it perfectly clear that no matter what happens, you don't hurt other people. Likewise, there's the scene where he dances with Rachel in the barn. This is not the way that they live, and she shouldn't be going in for this either, but this is not consistent with the Amish values, as we see when Eli comes in and looks really quite annoyed about this, and that there is talk of her being shunned. And lastly, of course, Book is prepared to kill people. He can spend this time, he can look as Amish as he wants, and he can be respectful, but he's prepared to murder a couple of people because his own life's in danger. He doesn't look for that other way, or at least he doesn't look as hard as the Amish would. The Amish basically say, there's always got to be another way. So, this final shot, you in fact have John Book dressed as Amish, but there he is with a cigarette in his hand, talking to his cop buddies. John Book, where does he belong, I guess is the question. So I'll leave you with that thought to decide for yourself.